Yeah, hello students. So today I'm going to explain relations and functions of 12th syllabus, NCRT 12th syllabus, NCRT exemplar problems. In the previous videos, I have done relations and functions class 11th NCRT syllabus, exemplar problems I have done. Now in this video, I'm going to explain class 12th topic relations and functions NCRT exemplar problems. See the first problem here. Let T be the set of all triangles in the Euclidean plane. Let a relation R on T is be defined as A or B. What is A or B? A is congruent to B. For all AB belongs to T, then R is what about R? The talking about is reflexive or transitive or like what do you say about transitive but not symmetric equivalence. Generally we know that equivalence means if a relation R on the set A is equivalence if it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Correct. Reflexive means suppose A comma A belongs to R for all A belongs to A. That is reflexive. Symmetric. If AB belongs to R, B comma A should be in R, then we can say that is symmetry. What is the transitive? If AB and PC belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. Then that is transitive. Now look into this. So they are given, and they talk about congruent. Every triangle is congruent to itself, right? Every triangle is congruent to itself. You remember, if it is every triangle is congruent to itself, right? Every triangle is congruent to itself. Every triangle is congruent to itself. So that's the reason they are reflexive. Clearly it is reflexive. Every triangle is congruent to itself, so it is reflexive. Every triangle is congruent to itself, so it is reflexive. These are mean it is reflexive. Second one, suppose A is congruent to B. Triangle A, this is triangle A. You think about triangle A. Triangle A is congruent. Triangle A is congruent to triangle B. Suppose you think about triangle B. Triangle, let it be triangle A is congruent to triangle B. Automatically you can also write triangle B is congruent to triangle A. This is also true. When the triangle A is congruent to triangle B also congruent to triangle A, it is symmetric. I can write it is symmetric. No doubt. If a triangle, suppose let it be T1, T1 is congruent to T2, T2 is congruent to T1. So this will be symmetric also. What about transitive? Yes, I can also write, suppose triangle A is congruent to triangle A is congruent to triangle B, and triangle B, you think, and triangle B is congruent to triangle C. Triangle B, A is congruent to triangle B and the triangle B is congruent to triangle C. Definitely I can also say, it is from this I can conclude triangle A is congruent to triangle C. I can do this. Congruent to triangle C. So means this is transitive. If a relation satisfies reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then that is called equivalence relation. So your answer is equivalence relation. We get the relation is equivalence relation. Now in this problem, see the given, consider the non-empty set consisting of children in a family. The relation are defined as A or B. If A is brother of B, then R is. In all the options they are talking about transitive or symmetric. They are talking about transitive or symmetric. If I can check that. A or B, if A is a brother of B. So what about think? So for symmetric means if A is brother of B, B should be brother of A, then I can say it is symmetric. But you can see here, when A is brother of B, so they given here, suppose A is brother of B, so what it implies, so because this is meaning means A is brother of B, but here B may or may not be right. So B may or may not be brother of A. Maybe B will be sister of A. So that's the reason. This is the reason here. I can write here B comma A doesn't belongs to R. So it is not symmetric. It is not symmetric, no doubt. It is not symmetric. It is not symmetric means not symmetric. I have either symmetric here also not symmetric. I should check transitive then. Why? Because symmetric I can eliminate this option. I can eliminate this option. Answer either B or C. 50% eliminated. B or C. Now coming to this. But you think when A is brother of B, B is brother of C. Definitely A is brother of C. It is transitive. No doubt in that, right? Just simple thing. If A is brother of B, B is brother of C, A is brother of C, it is transitive. So your answer is transitive but not symmetric. Option B. It's transitive, clearly. Now see here, when they are talking about the maximum number of equivalence relations, so what is set? A equals set of 1, 2, 3. Now what do you observe here? When I have taken A is equal to set of 1, 2, 3. Suppose the relation is on A cross A, right? Relation is on A cross A. Equals the relation is on A cross, relation R should on A cross A. From this I can write. So R I can write. What can I write? R I can write 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. I can write 1, 2, 1, 3, and 2, 1, and 2 direct, and 2, 3, and 3, 1, and 3, 2. You can check that. Total A, R is having 9 elements, A cross A. So you can see total 3. This is R. This is complete A cross A. This is nothing but A cross A. It is equivalence relation. Correct? Clearly it is an equivalence relation. If you take entire set A cross A equal to R. If R is equal to A cross A, then that relation is known as universal relation. Universal relation always equivalence relation. This is one equivalence relation, no doubt. Whenever you take A cross A, it gives completely equivalence relation. A cross A is equal to R. This is an equivalence relation. Which is equal to A cross A. This is A cross A is an equivalence relation. Now from this I will try. So let it be this is 1, R1, let it be R2. You can see 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, identity relation. You take this, clearly this is an equivalence relation. These 3 elements, it is a reflexive, symmetric and transitive. This is the equivalence relation. 2. Take third. You can see 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 should be there, right? For any relation, should the reflexive is, these 3 should be there. Along with, suppose 1, 2 is there. Think about 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, this is 1, 2, this 1, 2, this 2, 1. Take together 1, 2, 2, 1. Definitely this is an equivalence relation. It follows reflexive. Symmetric 1, 2, 2 and symmetric, it is transitive also. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, it is a transitive. Clearly reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Now R4. So this is required 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 required. So when 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 is required, right? Similarly, when 1, 3 is there, 3, 1. 1, 3, 3, 1. Now R5. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Right, 1, 3, you let 3, 1, you can see here 1, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1 you have taken. Next 2, 3, 3, 2. 2, 3, 3, 2. If we take like this, total we have 5. So maximum number of equivalence relations on the set A equal 1, 2, 3. 5 only. That means if A is having 3 elements, definitely we should get only 5 equivalence relations. What are the elements? We don't bother. If n of A is equal to 3, the number of equivalence relations should be equal to 5. This is your answer. That should be 5. Now see here, the given relation R in the set 1, 2, 3 be defined by R is equal to set of single ordered pair 1, comma 2, then R is. Remember, when it is reflexive, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 should be there, so it is not reflexive. When it is symmetric, 1, 2, 2, 1 should be 1, 2. When 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 should be there. It is not symmetric. Then transitive. What is the rule for transitive? If AB and BC belongs to R, if AB, BC belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. If AB, BC belongs, then ABC belongs to R, then I can say R is transitive. Another way, if A comma B and B comma C doesn't belongs to R, then A comma C doesn't belongs to R. R is transitive. R is transitive. Remember, be careful. When both belongs to R, then AC should be required. If AB, BC doesn't belongs to R, then A comma C doesn't belongs to R, then R is in that case R is transitive. Both meaning is same. So when AB and BC are there, I want A comma C. Suppose AB and BC both are not there, I don't want A comma C. Obviously it is transitive. Same here. 1, 2 is there. 2 comma something I don't want. If it is there, I can think about A comma C I should check. But here, clearly 1 comma 2. So if you take 1 comma 2, obviously if you take single ordered pair, obviously this relation is transitive. No doubt this one. Answer is transitive. Single ordered pair. It is clearly transitive. See in this problem, let us define a relation R in R as A or B if A greater than or equal to B, meaning A or B if A greater than or equal to B, then R is, they are given, these are the types of relations they are asking here. Equivalence, reflexive, transitive but not symmetric. Symmetric, transitive but not reflexive. Neither transitive nor reflexive but symmetric. You can check here. The given meaning A or B means A or B, they are given A or B means A greater than or equal to B. Suppose A or A. So definitely A greater than or equal to, this is true for all real numbers, right? So when they are talking, no, this is true. A greater than or equal to, it is true always, right? For the given here, be a relation A R in R, A or B they are given. So this is true here, A or A greater than or equal to A. Either A is equal to A option is there, right? So it is true, it is reflexive. I can say reflexive. Reflexive. So here you can see reflexive but not reflexive. I can eliminate this one, I can eliminate option C, I can eliminate. They are not but not reflexive. Neither transitive nor reflexive. Okay, I can eliminate D also, I can eliminate. Because we got reflexive, they are saying not reflexive and not reflexive. I can eliminate this. Now, think about the symmetry. Suppose symmetric means you can consider AB belongs to R implies A greater than or equal to B. This implies B does not greater than or equal to A, right? It doesn't imply. B doesn't imply. So B comma A doesn't belongs to R, right? B comma A doesn't belongs to R. A greater than or equal to B. B doesn't. I can consider this one. B doesn't imply. So B comma A doesn't belongs to R. Correct. Because A greater than or equal to B. B is not greater than or equal to A. Correct. Because this is A is more than that. Correct. So I can write here. So B comma A doesn't belongs to R. So then it is not symmetric, right? Not symmetric. So not symmetric. So not symmetric means maybe here not symmetric. Because even not reflexive means I can eliminate this also. Previously you see it is a reflexive means over here also option is there. Reflexive means I eliminated this. Coming to not symmetric. Not symmetric means automatically I can say it is not equivalence, right? That is true. It is not equivalence, right? Not symmetric is not equivalence. So what is our remaining option? Reflexive, transitive but not symmetric. But not symmetric. Your option is B only. Option is B. Even you can check transitive. What do you check? So you can, what about transitive? A less than or if AB belongs to R, A less than or equal to B. B comma C belongs to B less than or equal to C. A less than or equal to B, B less than or equal to C, A less than or equal to C. Clearly it is transitive. So that is the reason, reflexive, transitive but not symmetric. Your answer is that. Option B is your answer. See in this problem, they are given 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3. What about this relation? Clearly we know that 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. This is the clearly when 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is the definite, this is reflexive. So no doubt that this is reflexive. So here reflexive. What about symmetric? We will see. Symmetric means when 1, 2 is there, 2, 1 should be there. So 1, 2 you can see 1, 2 belongs to R, but 2, 1 doesn't belongs to R. So that means it is not symmetric. Not symmetric, right? So not symmetric. So this is reflexive. Due to this is reflexive, right? Reflexive but not symmetric. So answer is first option. Reflexive but not symmetric. It is not symmetric. So reflexive but not symmetric. That is clear. Here you should find the identity element. They defined Q minus singleton 0. This is set of rational numbers Q minus, Q minus singleton 0. They define. You take let E be the identity element. You consider E be the identity, E be the identity element in Q minus singleton 0, right? In this only. Let E be the identity element. In this you can consider. In this you can consider let E be the identity element. What is the definition of identity operation? This one I can write A star E equal to, you get A only. This is the definition of identity. When E is the identity, A star equal to A. But the given meaning A star is AB by 2. So AE by 2, which is equal to A. So this you get E is equal to 2. This is identity element. So 2 will be the identity element. 2 belongs to Q minus singleton 0. It is an identity element. Now see in this problem, the set A contains 5 elements and the set B contains 6 elements. Then the number of 1, 1 and onto mappings from A to B. They are talking about number of bijective functions. It should be 1, 1 and onto mappings means bijective. They are talking bijective. So when the function is bijective, the rule should be n of A is equal to n of B. So bijective n of A is equal to n of B. But here the elements n of A not equal given, but given here you will see it given n of A not equal to n of B. Correct? The elements not equal to given elements are, this is elements is 5 and 6. So not equal to given n of A not equal to n of B. That means number of bijective functions doesn't exist here. It will be 0. Correct? Number of bijective functions doesn't exist. So number of bijective functions will be 0. Now see here, to find number of surjections. Number of surjections means what the meaning of this onto functions, right? Surjections means onto both are same. Number of onto functions. Remember, suppose if f from A to P is given, f from A to P is a function. The number of onto functions or surjections I can define from A to B. Number of onto functions, which is nothing but surjection. Both are same. Onto or surjection both are same. This will be equal to, you remember, n of B C naught. N of B C naught. You can write n of B whole power. I can write n of A minus n of B C1, n of B minus 1 whole power n of A plus n of B C2. I can write n of B minus 2 whole power n of A minus and so on. I can continue. This is the formula to find number of onto functions. N of B C0, n of B whole power n of A, number of units in A, combination n of B C1, n of B minus 1 whole power n of A, continue like this. So this goes number of onto functions, but the rule is here n of a greater than or equal to n of b. That is the rule. That means, suppose if it is n of a less than n of b, number of onto functions equal to 0. Number of onto functions equal to 0, n of a less than n of b. See the previous problem also, when they are talking about number of bisective functions, there you can see elements n of a less than n of b. In that case, there is no onto function. You can see here, when they are talking here, n of a greater than or equal to n of b, that rule should be required, n of a greater than n of b. If n of a less than n of b, the number of onto functions will be 0. If n of a less than n of b, that will be 0. If n of a less than n of b, number of onto functions will be 0. They should be careful to decide about the number of onto functions. Now you can see here, if we compare this formula here, I have two elements here. Here n elements we have, correct? So n of b, so n of b is 2c naught you will get. See if I apply this formula, I will get here 2c naught. N of b is having two elements, right? 2c naught into 2 power, a is having n elements, n of a minus, I can write 2c1, correct? You can check that 2c1. So this is n of b having two elements, 2c1, n of b. So 2 minus 1, 1 power, you will get, you can see here, I will get only 2c0 2 power n and 2c1. So 1 power, you will get n, 1 power n. 2 is 2c0 minus 2c1. We got like this, right? 2c0 2c1. You can apply here. If we coming here, it will come plus 2c2, 2 minus 2 whole power n. After it won't come. This will be the last 2c0, 2c1, 2c2. So this will be 2c0 is 1. So 2 power n. 2c1 is, will get 2. 1 power n 1 only. 2 minus 2 0. 2 power n minus your answer. 2 power n minus 2. Number of onto functions or number of surjections will be 2 power n minus 2. So this is the formula you remember. You can use it this. Now see, this is a simple problem. They are given function f from R to defined by f of x equal to 1 by x for all x belongs to R. Then f is very simple thing. Instead of thinking 1 1 onto or bisective, leave it. So the function doesn't exist when x equal to 0. It doesn't define. Correct? F of x equal to 1 by x is not defined, right? Is not defined at x equal to 0, right? So that is the reason it's not defined. The function is not defined. That's the simple question here. So with this I completed around 10 problems I completed. Now the remaining 10 more problems are there in insert exemplar that I will do in the next video. That I will do that. So now almost the 22 minutes I have taken this one. So go through the video completely. Don't do 1 or 2 questions. Go through complete to get a complete idea about this. Go through this. You will get an idea how to solve the questions. The remaining 10 questions I am going to do the next video. Thank you.